So, Dad, could you tell me then about the very first clarinet that you owned yourself, which was not an army issue?
Yep. It was a Bougie Oaks Regent clarinet. Cost about £30 in those days. See, what's it be about 1948, I should think, when I got that. No, about 1948. I went to the dance one night where the Vic Lewis band was playing.
How could you go to the dance if because you were in the army at that time? So
I was on leave.
Oh, you were on leave. Okay.
Yeah, I went to this dance because I knew Vic Lewis band was playing there on Friday night, and I got talking to the band. In those days, when the bands used to play, all the people used to collect around the bandstand. And
where was this?
Holiday Dance in Ashton-under-Lyne, 2 miles from Stalybridge.
Okay.
2 miles. You can walk there. And it was during that interval when I got talking, the band used to like come out for a cup of coffee like they do and today. And I got talking to Bill Collins, who was the baritone sax player with the Vic Lewis band. And told my client, I said, oh, I'm looking for a B-flat clarinet. And he said, oh, I said, I've got a Bougie Oaks Regent clarinet, which is only 6 months old, but I want a better one. And I'm thinking of selling this one. He said, would you be interested? So he took me to the band room and started playing it. It seemed all right. I had to go to it. I mean, I wasn't very good in those days. But anyway, I said, oh, yes, I'll have that. But I haven't got the £20. He wanted £20 for it. It was out about 30. So I said, I haven't got the money with me. If you want me to buy it, you'll have to come up to Stalybridge and get me there so I can borrow the money off my parents. Anyway, he talked to Vic Lewis, the band leader, and after the end of the night, he said, we'll put you in the coach and take you up there, up to where you live. I said, it's only 2 miles. He said, it won't take long. It'll take about 10 minutes. So that's what happened. So we all traipsed into the coach, and the coach parked in my mother's house on the corporation housing estate where we lived. And I went into the house. It was in darkness because at this time it'd be about way after 12 o'clock at night, and the house was in darkness. And I went upstairs, woke them up and said, can you lend me £20,000? I said, what do you want that for? And I explained. He said, well, where are you? I said, well, they're outside. So I said, well, go and fetch them in and have them a cup of tea. So I went back to the band and said, yeah, okay, here's the money. Well, anybody who wants to come in for a cup of tea, my mum will make them a cup. So nearly all of them come in. They all came in this council house. A sequence of that was when I was back in Iserlohn one night, 2 years later, probably about 1949, 50, so on, the band, the Vic Lewis band, came over to Iserlohn and was playing in the local dance hall. And I went to see them again then, at that point. And at the interval, I went round to the back and had a chat with them and saw Ronnie Chamberlain, who was a very good alto player. He was one who came into my mother's house. He said, oh, he said, I remember we went into your house, didn't we? Had a cup of tea. So that was like a couple of 2 or 3 years after it happened, And I've still got the clarinet then, of course. I kept that clarinet all the way through my army career then until I got demobbed. That was when I sold that and bought the one I've got now in 1952.
Could you show us the clarinet that you finally bought then, Dad?
There it is.
Okay. And so can you tell us a little bit about that one then?
Yes. When I was on leave again, I saved up £100 to buy this. I knew how much it cost. I'd inquired. And I wanted the same clarinet what Benny Goodman had, which is a Selmer. This is a Selmer. I can't remember the exact model now, but it's stamped there. And I went down to Manchester, and I went into Reno's, and I said, "Have you got this particular clarinet?" And he said yes. I said, "Well, can you show me them?" He said, "What? Why?" He said, "Why?" I said, "Well, I want to buy one." He said, "Well, have you got the money?" And I said, "Look," I said, "you're selling me a clarinet. I want to see it whether I've got the money or not. You don't go into a shop and ask for a cake and say, 'Well, have you got the money to buy it?' I want to see it." And I said, "Oh, well, I'm not interested in you. I'll go somewhere else." So I walked out. I didn't see it at all. And I went down to Mrs. Chapman's in Deansy at Manchester. Different person altogether. Lovely lady. She said, "Yes, I've got one or two. You can take your pick. Go in that room over there and play them until you find the one you want." And so that's what I ended up with, this one there, and I give him the money. And it's been done up a few times since I've had it, repadded and one thing and another. It cost me 100 quid.
Yeah.
I took all the money to buy it.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of money in 1952 when I got him on. But that's been very good. It's a brilliant clarinet.
Yeah.